Hello YouTubers and Midori nuts, and welcome to my first review and setup of the Midori Traveller's Notebook, regular size in black. As some of you may already know that about 4 or 5 weeks ago I bought the Star Ferry edition in passport size, which I use daily and enjoy using, but I found fairly quickly after getting this notebook that it was probably a little bit too small for something I wanted to try out, bullet journaling, and just organising my work schedule and things I need to get completed. So I ordered the regular size Midori, which gives you that extra space in there. And just a quick comparison here, so you can see the regular size against the passport size, so it's quite a bit taller and a little bit wider. Generally the passport size goes with me pretty much everywhere. I use it for writing notes in and in meetings and just jotting down ideas, but a lot of those things which then need to go into my bullet journal I use to transpose into a bullet journal, or key dates go into my Crona Decks. So I'm just going to take you through a quick review of the regular size notebook. Before we delve into the notebook itself, I'll probably reposition the camera for that. Just take you through how I've set it up here. I've bought the Midori pen clip medium size, and in there I've got a Lamy graphite all-star graphite fountain pen. It's a fine nib pen, and when I first got this insert and put the pen in, it was quite tight, even though it was the medium size. But what I've found over the couple of weeks of using it, it's become sort of quite loose. So what I do is I secure the pen with the elastic as well, and it keeps it quite secure there. So that's the black medium pen loop on there. I have no charms or leather bands on the closure elastic, but what I've done, or what Vina's done I should say, is put a couple of beads on there similar to the passport size one, and that just helps keep the bookmark down, and it just makes it look a little bit nicer. Just a quick word on the exterior of the notebook. The black version does feel different to the brown and the Star Ferry sort of camel leather. As you can see on this leather, you get sort of scuffs and marks quite easily, and they look quite nice. It's like a nice patina on the notebook. This does feel softer. It's smooth, but it also feels softer than this leather. This leather is smooth, but probably feels a little bit tougher, and that I'm presuming that's down to the dyeing process. It's still a very nice leather. You still get little scratches and marks on it, but they're not as visible, so you get a slightly different finish to it. The other thing just to note before we delve into the book is that I've now got 3 books in here. I posted photos of this notebook on Facebook, and I had 4 books in there, which made it quite chunky. And although I don't mind the book sticking out or it being chunky, I've now feel that I don't need that extra space, because I know exactly what I'm going to be using this for. I use it pretty much for bullet journaling, and I've got a Crona Decks in there, the description printout which is in here, which I'll take you through, and then I've got some lined paper for just general notes. What we'll do now is I'll reposition the camera, and then we'll delve into looking at some of the other bits and bobs that I've got in here, and hopefully give you a little bit of insight at how I'm using this. Okay, see you shortly. Okay, welcome back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through very quickly how I've set up the inserts and a couple of the other inserts and things I carry with me in this Midori. Although this Midori doesn't come out as often with me, I've got a couple of the plastic folders. I'm going to keep little bits in there like stamps and stencils and things like that. But let's delve in and have a quick look. Here, just before we start, I was just going to show you a sort of a bird's eye view of the size difference. If I turn that round, you get a pretty good sort of comparison. Okay, so let's jump in. So I've already said I've used the original Midori pen clip. I've got the zipper, the zipper pouch, the original Midori one, in here, and that's the first thing. And similar to how I use it on the passport size, I use this as a dashboard. So any post-its or quick notes will get stuck on here, so I can quickly access them. In the pouch, what do I carry in the pouch? Now, okay, there's a couple of things that might be useful. I normally keep one of these small post-it notepads. These are the full sticky back ones. I find that they stick a lot better. The regular post-its do tend to lose their sticky and fall off, so these are quite handy for little notes, little reminders that I keep in here. There's a memory key, normally with files or photos that I need to print or documents I need to carry, so that's normally in there. I've got a small Midori aluminium ruler. Got this from the journal shop. I think if you're watching this on the 20th of May and you hurry, journal shop has got a 20% discount, so you could actually whiz out and get a few bits that you may see here with a bit of a discount. By the way, I'm not affiliated with the journal shop or any of the other companies I'll mention during our video here. It's just to give you info of where I bought bits. I'll send links to. I'll put links in the bottom of the YouTube video of most of the items that I refer to in this video, by the way. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. This is just a stencil. I got this off an Etsy store. I can't remember the name of the store, but I will look it up, and again I'll put a link to it in the description. So this is ideal for if you're going to annotate a journal entry and you want to put arrows in or some cute little icons. So that's really quite nice. I've got some other stencils which you'll see as well as we progress through the booklet, and there's just some iTunes vouchers in there which I've got, so I just kept them there so I know that they're there. I haven't used them yet. So the first booklet insert I've got here is Ray Blake's bullet journal insert. So I printed this out on double-sided. One of the mistakes I made was that I printed this on 100 GSM paper, because I thought it'd be a lot better for writing on with the fountain pen. It is better because you get very little sort of bleed through or show through the paper, but it's just that little bit too thick. So when you trim it, and I'll just show you this, when you trim it, as you get to the center of the book, it starts it's sort of overcutting the numbering and the margin that Ray's allowed. I have printed some other bullet journals subsequently on regular paper. It does actually write, fountain pens do write okay on it, and it's fine. I don't get this sort of over trimming on it. So, but I'm just using this one up as it was the first one I made. So I'm doing bullet journaling on it. I didn't really start off correctly. I just started dumping my to-dos and my notes that I wanted to record. So I started with April, with only a few days to go in April, but I've been progressing down the index there, and as we got into May, I started doing collections. So where there was common items, starting putting them into collections, which is really helpful. I'll whiz through here because there are some bits which I'll cover in this last section here, which I can. Oh, by the way, this is one of the other stencils. I've got two of these. These are the original Midori brass stencils, which again I bought from the journal shop. But these are just great fun to have in there, and you can use them as bookmarks. So here I've started the journal entries for today, and I've started moving entries over and what I do is I just use a standard notation. I put an arrow in to show that I've moved it, and if there's things which I've ticked off, great, you know, I tick them off. And what I'm also doing is I'm using a slightly different notation. I don't know if you can see it there. Is that where I haven't quite completed something, but I've started it, I've just started shading that box in. And I'll probably use that to show, because a lot of the stuff I've got in here will be work in progress, but I haven't completed, and I just don't want lots and lots of empty boxes being transferred over every time. So that's my bullet journal. I'm really finding that useful purely because it allows me to just dump everything that's going on. And what I've done, and I've posted this on Facebook, is that I've done I dump everything in one bullet journal. I don't keep a personal one and a work one. At the moment that seems to be working for me, because it just gives me one view of everything that I need to get done. And then how I'm organising that is actually through the collections. So in collections there's a particular project, which again I can't show you in here. It's a work related project. I've done a huge collection for that, so all the tasks that are related around that I'm breaking down in that, and any notes that are related to that. So that's really helpful, and that's how I organise it. But I still get this sort of daily, or every couple of days I update the bullet journal of all the things that I've got going on in my life. So it's one place for me to look for that. The other thing that you may see here, I've got some of these, I think they're called auto clips or auto clips. And they're these smiley face paper clips. I bought these from Cult Pens, and I also got some sent free recently from Cult Pens in a purchase I did, just a couple. But these are quite fun and quite nice to just using regular paper clips. They're actually a bit firmer than regular paper clips, and they're ideal for either marking pages or clipping things in. And what I've got here, this was sent to me from Cult Pens as well on a previous purchase. It's the importance of handwriting. So it's just some tips of how to improve your handwriting for children and for adults. And that's one of the things I've been trying to do since I've got my Midoris, is starting to handwrite a lot more. I think I've mentioned in the past that I work in IT, and I spend a lot of time on computers, iPads, smartphones, and my handwriting is atrocious. And I've been practicing trying to improve my handwriting through various exercises that I've found on YouTube. And also I'm enjoying using fountain pens again. So with using fountain pens and doing these exercises, my handwriting is improving, and I'm enjoying actually using these notebooks again. So this next insert is the credit card insert, which comes with the credit card slots are double-sided, so you get three slots double-sided, so you get 6 on one side, and it feeds through, and there's 6 on another side. Now I do normally have some other cards in here, some IDs and stuff which I've taken out. So things that I don't necessarily need to carry around with me all the time, but I do need to have in one place. National insurance card and things like that are normally in there. I've got some spare stamps. The other bit, which you may have heard me mention in my vlog, is a Crona Decks. Now I downloaded the printable from the description site, and I'll put links to all of this in the comments section below. I started doing Crona Decksing. I quite like the idea of it. Now it was obviously quite late in the year, so all this front part is empty, but I started doing it because I thought it might really help me look at how I spend my time in sort of visual management. And I've mentioned in the past that I was kind of struggling with it, and you can probably see here, this was the first week I did every day, and then I missed a few days out last week, and then this week I've started doing it again. I like the idea of the visual management, the colours, so that I can see where I'm spending time, but I'm not really feeling it at the moment. I'm going to continue again, as I've mentioned, probably at least up until the end of May, and then review what I'm going to do. I was hoping to use the bullet journal with this type of method for future planning, the Crona Decks method. but at the moment I'm feeling that I'm probably going to be moving towards a standard diary entry in here, and I'm going to either look at what's available as printouts or make something myself. Ideally, I think what would work for me, because I do use a lot of electronic methods for my diaries, for my appointment booking, because I can email an appointment straight into my calendar and I can share it with colleagues. This could be for planning or review of where I've spent my time. I may go for one of these diary entries which has the week on one page and then a blank page next to it, so you can write further detailed notes in that page. But I will give you an update on how I get on. But I'm finding it very difficult, although I am trying. Okay, so that's my Crona Decks. The rear part of the credit card folder there, keeping things like cards I need to have handy, or places I like to go. And it's a great little insert, like I say, because it's double-sided. You've actually not got 6 but 12 slots in there. It could be really, really good for keeping business cards in there. And the rear booklet, which I haven't started using, it's an original Midori insert of the lined paper. I will use this once I've got probably when I've finished using one of the inserts in the passport size that I'm using for planning a couple of work related projects. I'll probably start using this insert. We have the back of the Midori here. Is the rear of the zipper folder. This differs to the zipper folder in the passport size, where you've got a full size opening here and a full size opening here. On the passport size, you've got sort of like half credit card size slots. I don't know if everyone's seen that. I'll just quickly whiz to the back and show you that. So you've got one part of it is a credit card size slot, so you can get 2 lots in there, and then the other side is a full size. But on the regular size insert, both sides are full size here. So what I've got, what do I have in there? Some airmail stickers, just handy for all the post I'm sending out for people who have bought things off the Etsy store or Kidori's and the like, and then some custom forms. Recently the Kidori's I've had to send out, they all needed these custom forms filling out, so I grabbed a bunch from the post office, so I've got them handy. I'm not wasting time at the post office, I can just fill these out beforehand and stick them on the packaging. I've also got a really nice thank you card which I've kept in there. This is from Leslie Inglis. She was one of the rack winners of the craft folders we did way back, so I got this last week, so it's a really nice card and I've kept it in there as a nice memento of that. And at the back, what I've done is I've kept some of these stickers. I think people have seen me use these in the passport size to highlight certain bits of info. Because I haven't started using the notebook, I haven't used these. These are for sort of important information, ideas, to-dos and things like that. So I will use these as I start using this lined notebook. And the other bit I've got in here is this is a Midori insert, and it's a sticker sheet, and it's the double-sided sticker. So I thought this would be useful, maybe not for this notebook, but when I take you through how I'm going to use the Midori, this will probably get moved into there. And these are just double-sided stickers, so if you've got ticket stubs or photos or something like that you want to quickly stick into your journal as a memory, these would be ideal to take with you. So they're those, and I think you get about 3 sheets in the Midori pack for these. And that is my setup for the Midori regular size notebook. I'm really enjoying using it. Going back to writing a bullet journal is great. I'm enjoying that element of it. Also, just the feedback on the book itself. It's really, it's again, I think everyone says it's a really nice leather. It feels substantial. I think I've got the right number of books in there for what I want. The other thing a lot of people have said is the clasp here, that they think it sort of it doesn't lay flat, the book doesn't lay flat when they're writing. I haven't found that, nor have I found the problem with the knot being in the back. In fact, I kind of like the knot being in the back of my notebooks, but you know, that's personal preference. I haven't found it a problem. Maybe when I'm using the rear book here, it could be problematic. So yeah, really enjoying using this. The only thing I'm probably going to change, like I say, is that the lamy has become loose in this pen loop here. I'll probably put a thicker fountain pen in there as time goes on. But that's it really. So thank you for watching and listening. Love to have your feedback and comments down below. And I'll catch you soon. Thank you very much.